Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Running pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
It is day 2 of the Braylon Edwards with Shep show. He is one of the greatest receivers in Michigan history, Braylon Edwards. I'm Matt Sheppard. Happy to have you along on this Tuesday. How are you, pal?
Appreciate that, man. I'm doing good, man. A lot of good reviews. A lot of people spoke highly of the work that we did yesterday, man. You, myself, Ricky, and Justin and Kool-Aid. So excited for that. Excited for day 2, and just excited to rock, man. Some good topics to talk about.
It's never going to get old because it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, with good people, and I'm excited because a little bit later on today, we've got some elite athletes in studio. So I'm excited for that.
My dad, 1995, my dad started a maximum output track club because we couldn't get the sprinting edge that we wanted in team track. A lot of coaches, but a lot of distance or mid-distance. My dad created a sprint track club, maximum output in 1995, and has still continued that to this day. We got a couple of his studs in the studio today, 4x4. They've already won the time that will make them second in the nation, I do believe. So We'll talk about that, and we'll see them in a couple minutes or so.
Did you have to learn how to run the right form? Did your dad help you with that?
Yeah, everyone has to learn. Some that comes a little bit easier than others. My dad track coach my whole life, so it's easier, but you have to learn how to run fast. A lot of times it's not about people being slow or people being it's if you know how to run. There are a lot of individuals in the league right now that run 4.4. They're 4.3 runners. They don't know it. It's a lot of guys that run 4.3. They're 4.2 guys. They just don't know how to run.
I know what a lot of Detroit sports fans are saying right now. Braylon, do you think your dad could help Riley Green run a little bit better?
Riley Green definitely
needs a new hammy.
he needs some new hammies, but Dad can get them right. You know, Dad's got a lot of individuals right, just speed, dynamics. Berkeley, my younger brother, is taking up the mantle now, but you can get guys right. You can work with Riley Green. The garage is right in Northville, so it's not too far. Right down 96.
And look, I love Riley. I do.
Yeah.
I think he's the best Tiger there is. It's an interesting debate on who you think needs to elevate their game a little bit more in the second half of the season.
That's an easy question.
You think it's an easy answer?
I think it's easy. Who needs to elevate their game?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a guy that may not be on the roster after 2 series. Parker Meadows.
Okay. I was going to say Kerry Carpenter.
I'd say Parker Meadows.
I do wonder just a little bit. Like them all, know them all, really respect him. Kerry, I don't want to say he gets a free pass, but Kerry Carpenter, he gets injured quite a bit. I mean, if it's Riley Green, they're on him. If it's Spencer Torkelson, they're on him. If it's Kerry Carpenter, it's not. I think his bat is so valuable in this lineup from a power aspect. I don't know if they're going to add a bat. I'd love to see Eugenio Suarez come in and play third base. I really would. But if all they add is pitching and the addition comes from within, where Kerry Carpenter is healthy, that's a significant bat. And you need power. You need to continue the power. That's the big reason I think this team is successful this year is because of their slug, because of their OPS, because of their power. And Carpenter helps provide that. He's got to get well.
Carps does have to get well. You know, Carps is one of those guys outside of Riley that you hope to take that next step. He's a guy in-house, homegrown, and that's what the Tigers have been this year. They've had the extra bats. They've come from ingrown Tigers. Javi Baez got paid, obviously. Spencer Torkelson got drafted #1 overall. They have been big bats for the Tigers this year. If you add Kerry Carpenter, who is better than both of those guys at this point, in my opinion, if you add his bat to the scenario, now you got a team that I can feel confident in saying, yeah, they're going to beat the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yeah, I'd like to see him bat a little bit better against lefties, but he's done that this year compared to what he's done in his career. You bring up Torkelson with the #1 overall, and that's always labeled with him, and properly so. Casey Mize, same thing. This is what you wear. You were third overall. Yeah, you were third overall. Can you give us an idea of the pressure feeling when you are. I know it's different from baseball and football,
Yeah.
but the pressure compared to a 1 overall or a high-level draft pick that's expected to come in and change a franchise, not just a team, but an entire franchise.
Look, it's unfair, but life's unfair. When you get drafted number 1, number 2, number 3 overall, which I did, a lot comes with that. And, fair is not in the equation. This is how it approaches the mental side. Look, when I got drafted in Cleveland, when you're in a franchise that has been in peril for a little while, like the Tigers were when they got drafted Spencer Torkelson, or like the Cleveland Browns who have been in peril forever when they draft me, what happens is all the disappointment in the years leading up to that draft pick, it now gets placed on that draft pick. So the year that happened before I got drafted in 2005, now the sorry season of 2004, the sorry draft pick of 2003, the quarterback that you went and drafted in the first round that you shouldn't have in 2002, the team leaving to go to Baltimore in 1993. I had nothing to do with that. But all this gets placed on me. So if I don't come out the gate and go 1,500 yards, 15 touchdowns, now it's my fault as well. Same falls on those players in baseball. Look, you're brought here when your time is called to perform. And when Spencer Torkelson drafted number 1, hits 30, and then he disappears, like now the franchise who hasn't won a playoff series before last year, 10 years, 11 years, now that angst is on the player. And fair is not the operative word, but it is unfair.
I would add to that they won despite them or without them, and
both.
They won in the playoffs similarly. They didn't need either one of those 1-1s to win the playoff series in Houston and get to Cleveland.
That's what eases the mental for them in this offseason.
Really? You think so?
Because now, a year prior to last year, before you beat the Houston Astros, which they are nipping on the heels again this year, we talked about this year, but before you beat the Houston Astros, the Tigers suck. Let's call it a spade. Tigers,
my friend, yeah.
They were not a good ball club for whatever reason. They were not a good ball club for a decade. When he was drafted, he was brought in to change that. Casey Myers, when you're drafted number 1, you're brought in to change that. Well, when you guys struggle, which they both did last year, and your team wins a playoff game in spite of you, then almost wins a second playoff series, and then they feel confident to go out and get a couple players, you're like, oh, we're good already. It's not as much pressure on me to be the only one that's going to save us. The way in which we made it before with Spencer Torkelson, it's up to Spencer Torkelson and Casey Myers to save the franchise. That's not how baseball works. That's not how sports works. Now, well, they have Scoobs, who turns out to be this diamond in the rough for them out of Washington. They find Jack Flaherty, who comes back after the Dodgers. They find Gleyber Torres. You find some of these young players, Zach McKinstry, that you bring up in your farm system. And once you do that and they have that success, now it's just healthy competition. Okay, I want to be as good as Riley Green was today. I want to be as good as Zach McKinstry was today. I want to be as good as opposed to I have to be that guy. Because you don't. And it was proven. You don't have to be that guy.
What did you think of the home run derby last night?
Long pause.
Holy crap.
Yeah, like 3 hours is just a lot.
3 hours, Ricky.
3 hours is a lot. 3 hours is a lot for 8 guys, in which one of them is a star, and the other ones I'm trying to figure out how good they will be later on down the line. Also, somebody got played in the first round, and I'm not a fan of that. I told you, they keep changing it every year.
I know.
Players don't even know.
They don't.
They don't even know the rules.
Yeah.
Roker's legitimately warming
Brett
up.
Rooker, yeah.
He's getting ready. He's warming up. He thinks he's in a swing off. And because of the distance of .33, he finds out not only is he not a swing off, his ass got to go home.
It's crazy. It doesn't. You're right. It's so flexible with how they're determining things. And look, okay, I mean, if they told them the rules beforehand, so be it. But it's like reading a document before you sign it to lease a car. Nobody reads every single part of it, right? Yeah. It was entertaining at times. I got caught up in O'Neal Cruz and how far he was hitting it. Yeah. So I thought it was pretty good because Ricky and I had a conversation yesterday, and I said, I don't view him as a home run hitter. And he says, I do. I said, I view him as a guy who hits the ball hard, but not as a home. Well, he hit it hard last night, and he hit it far last night. But I thought the story with Cal Raleigh and his dad throwing to him and his 15-year-old brother catching. First of all, when his brother goes back to school in the fall, Come on, man.
You know what time it is.
He's the dude, right?
Right. Save some for the rest of them.
He's walking the halls, and everybody's going, that's the guy.
You know, as soon as he gets his driver's license, Cal's gonna set him up nice in the whip, some type of vehicle. So yeah, he gonna get him.
He deserves to be paid a little bit of what Cal Raleigh won, first and foremost. But second of all, just the whole feeling of it. Like you were talking about your dad being your track coach growing up. There's got to be a special feeling there with your father watching you reach the heights that you did and he did in the National Football League. There's got to be that had to stir up some emotion for you.
I think a cool moment that I had with my dad is kind of father-son moment like Cal Raleigh had. He's at the All-Star game and he's pitching him softballs. He's taking him out of the park and he gets the win. So I know I do like it when the odds-on favor is at least in the finals. Mm-hmm. I hate it when you got the odds-on favor and because of how you run the home run derby, they don't even make it to the finals. But with that being said, University of Michigan, my dad had a lot of access to the field. I wonder why. Well, it's because he played there and he was all Big Ten guy. But he would come on the field sometimes, and we would get to play catch before the games. Like if he caught me in the warm-ups and, I'm chilling by myself, just like we did back in the day, just like we did on Stratford, just like we did on Penrod, just like we did on Ward. These are all street names in the city of Detroit, ladies and gentlemen. Just like that. And to be able to do that before a Michigan game, same place he played his college ball, it was dope. So to watch that moment for Cal and his father and his brother, those moments they're hard to come by. My little brother got a chance to sit in a NFL meeting on Saturday. Like, you know how those game day meetings, not game day, but Saturday meetings, you go in, you do a walkthrough, production meetings, get in, get out. He got a chance to go, and LaDainian Tomlinson, who we were talking about earlier, he said, Braylon, let me get your brother. He can come in there with us. And my brother got a chance to sit in there with LaDainian Tomlinson, one of the greatest running backs of all time, on a Saturday before a game, which we won. So those are moments that
so cool.
Yeah, I treasure and I appreciate God on that.
So did you reflect back on that when you were watching Raleigh hit home run after home run off his dad last night?
Yeah, 100%. Because Pops knows where the sweet spot is.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, whatever the sport is, Pops knows where the sweet spot is. Hey, Braylon, he'll tell me that in route running. Hey, Braylon, you're a little too high. You're a little too high. And he'll tell me that. And I know that at the top of my routes, I got to drop my hips a little bit more so I can get out of my break a little bit better. So I recognize the energy.
Yeah, I've always wanted to ask your father that because I had a really interesting conversation once with John Beeline, who was the head coach of the University of Michigan while I was calling Michigan basketball. And Herb Sendick, who was a coach at NC State at the time, was about to coach his son. And he asked John Beeline, because Beeline coached his sons at West Virginia, how do you coach your son and still be objective? He said, you got to remember something. When you go to every one of their practices, the entire time they were growing up, you see all their warts. You're almost looking for the negative instead of the positive until people start talking to you about the negatives, and then you bring up the positives, right?
Yeah.
So how do you do that? That's a really hard thing to do. So your dad just giving you that slight little bit of an adjustment in your route running is pretty interesting. I'm wondering if he's watching the negatives or if he's focusing on as much positives, and that just happened to pop out at him.
Look, my dad wasn't like Pete Manders. Was the project out of USC in the 80s. Todd
Marinovich.
Yeah, my dad's not like his dad.
Bionic
like Todd Marinovich's father was a little bit
psychotic.
Cuckoo.
Yeah,
he knew some stuff, but he's a little bit cuckoo. With that being said, he knew that he couldn't be my head coach. Like, Dad was always smart enough, and I give him the respect and give him the grace for that. He always put me on another team, and he just kind of watched me from afar. Like, he did the same thing in Michigan. He didn't claim to know more than Lloyd. He didn't claim to know more than Eric Campbell. My high school coach, he didn't try to be on the sidelines and coach me. He would give me little tidbits in the moment. He would little things after the moment. But for the most part, he let the coaches coach, and we just worked on the side outside of that.
He wasn't the helicopter dad.
Nah.
There's a crap load of them out there, aren't there?
Man.
I don't know if he wouldn't be that in today's society, but he wasn't that back then. Today's society is nuts. It makes the kids not want to play the game. That's what the parents don't understand.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? I mean, there's too many dads out there who say, my kid's going to be the next Braylon Edwards.
Yeah.
I hope they are. Right?
Right.
But are you the guy to get them there, or are you going to trust? I used to say this all the time when I was coaching my kids. I told every parent, we'd have a big meeting before, and I'd say, just give me 24 hours. My job, and I was coaching 7th and 8th grade, so nothing like but my job is not to hoist a championship. I'm not going to win a championship. No one's taking my picture and Jim Nance is interviewing me at the end of the Super Bowl.
Right.
Okay? That's not happening. My job is to make sure your son and my sons, when they go to high school, that coach looks at him and says, you've been well coached.
Got something here.
And they want to keep playing the sport.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
And another thing, some of those parents is just like, why don't you coach if you know so much? You know what I'm saying? Like you said, your dad used to stay back. Yeah. Some of these parents now are yelling. You would think they're the coach on the bleachers. Like, get out there, coach.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. I had a kid one time in baseball. We worked with him all week long. He had no confidence. So you're building up the confidence, right? The dad was nowhere to be. Didn't drop him off at practice. Didn't pick him up at practice. Was never there. Shows up at the game. And the kid's
loudest one.
He's in the on-deck circle, and he's like, hey, come over here. And I literally went up to the dad. I go, nope, that's not happening today. Not today. You could have done this all week long with your son at home. This is not happening today. I got him in the right mental space, and I literally started crying because the kid got a hit.
There you
and
go.
It was the first day. I said, Dad, sometimes it's better to stay out of the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree. Sometimes it's better. A lot of times it's better to stay out of the way. Like, you brought him here, you trusted the process. You got to let the process take over. I think a lot of times there's a plan in play from a coach to a player, and when the parent isn't around, or when the parent just doesn't care, he believes that his kid is going to be Ken Griffey Jr. in the prettiest swing of all time, you messed the plan up. And now the plan has to keep getting reset. You know, so sometimes you stay back. It sucks for the refs and the umpires.
Agreed.
Like the refs and the umpires. I would not want to ref for umpire.
And the
one
other
time.
kids.
Yeah, I'm good.
No, I was going to say, my pops, it was interesting, man. For our church league where I learned to play basketball, pee-wees, my brothers, uncles, and everybody, they were involved. It was like a village. They would come to the gyms. They would go to the parks. They would practice the plays with us at home and all that type of stuff. When I got to high school and it was like my coaches at the school that were involved, my dad stayed out the way. Yeah. He stayed back, and he was like, look, I'm just here to support you on this. Your coach is your coach. I'm not in this part of your journey except for to be a support. But then there were some of those parents that you would see in the baseball, basketball, football. They would absolutely cross that line. You didn't see them anytime except for the game. And then you hear in their mouth, and for us as players, we were like, dog. And like the kid, like I ain't going to put their name out there, but you could tell the teammate was like, man, I really wish my parent would just sit down and be quiet and stop yelling at the coach.
Yeah,
that's why I can't coach.
Epic times, man.
Everyone's always asking me, Braylon, why won't you coach? Braylon, why don't you coach? Braylon, yeah, I want to pass down this knowledge and this information, and maybe I'll find a way and avenue to do it. I enjoy doing these camps. I did Calvin's camp 2 weeks ago. Nice. I'm out there and I'm just going. I want the kids to get the information I have. With that being said, you know, I'm going to church, but I'm still not quite patient yet. First parent to come up to me in the wrong way, it's gonna be a problem. Like I don't go to Planet Fitness for no reason. Like I don't need that smoke.
It might be a little different for you.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, and if you show up in that purple shirt, no one was going to approach you.
I do. Right.
If you do,
nuts.
If it might be a little different for you just because of the pedigree and the resume, right? It might be totally different. I remember one time I'm coaching my son. It's a night game. He was not effective. Yeah. So I pulled him, right? Mm-hmm.
And I said, you pulled your own son?
Oh, you're damn right. And I said to him, I looked at him and I said, you'll go back in when you're ready. Yeah. You'll go back in when you're ready to play because you're not ready to play. So 2 plays later, tap on the shoulder. It's him. Hey, I'm ready. And I looked at him and I said, no, you're not. You think just because you gave me 2 respites, 2 plays that you're ready? I'll know when you're ready. You're not ready. You're not going back in. And you could hear the mumbling under his breath. But he
calls you everything but a child of God.
Just about.
Just throwing that out there.
His friend next to him says, I could hear him whisper. He goes, at least your dad's fair. Yeah. You know, and which meant nothing to my son at the time. Right. Absolutely nothing.
He wants special privilege.
Yeah, but that's often, sometimes it's harder to be the kid who is the coach's son or daughter.
Well, I got a story for you on that. Speaking of my dad and speaking of Maximum Output Track Club. So this has been my senior year in high school. Mm-hmm. All right. Then we had 2 4x1s. We had 4x1A. We had 4x1B. On the 4x1 A team was the fastest 100 times that year. Well, my time was faster than the guy who ran second leg on that team, Lance Geyer, A.K. Lucky. What up, though? So I don't mind putting names out here. I walked him down all season long. Like every time we ran against the A team, legitimately I get the baton, take off, pass him on the backstretch, pass and lead. Now what happened on the third leg? That's between Darnell and Johnny Drake. It didn't go well for the B
Not that
team.
he doesn't remember the names.
Right.
Oh, 100%. I got pictures.
Every name. Braylon does not forget them.
My dad, because he didn't want to put his son on the A team, because he didn't want to put sons like, oh, well, he's on the team because he's Braylon, he's Stan's son, and so he put me on the B team, even though I was faster out of the 2. Like, and because I had to not say anything. I just relaxed and blah, blah, blah. But I was pissed.
You should be pissed.
I was mad as hell. And I walked him down at the Junior Olympics, but our fourth leg dropped the baton. So
All right,
there goes that.
I want to talk about that because
Yeah.
that's an interesting dynamic and a borderline touchy subject with a lot of people, and we'll do that right after this read from Ven Johnson,
Hey,
the
what up,
man
though,
who's
Frank?
ready to protect.
100%. Hey, I'm telling you like this, you should protect it. Justice, it means different things to different people. But whether it's a settlement or a verdict, justice is always worth the fight. If you've got a case, contact the fighters at Ben Johnson Law today. That's benfights.com. Look, Ben will fight for you. They're tough, tenacious, and they're trial lawyers. And trial lawyers is the thing that you got to pay attention to because that means they want all the smoke. They don't mind the settlement, but they're here for the beef. Check it out. Ben Johnson, benfights.com.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Head to woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at woodwardsports.com. A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
Looking to upgrade your relaxation game? Check out Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills, the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest with the top brands of massage chairs like Infinity and Osaki. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce that. Located near the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road. Experience luxury comfort with Dr. Eric Duncan. He's the wellness doc, creator of the top YouTube massage chair review channel. So make sure you check that out, man. Book a visit right now, massagechairhouse.com, or you can scan that QR code. Where is it? It's right above me. Scan the QR code, man. Massagechairhouse.com, your ticket to the ultimate recovery and relaxation.
That's what Matt Shep.
Appreciate that. Yo, Ricky, we were talking about something before.
Yeah, man.
We started the show today. I have been legitimately trying to find someone, Shep, to have a conversation about the clips. Not only the album, let God sort them out, but even the Tiny Desk that they did. To see my boy Malice, one half of clips, be back.
God.
Some fire in that CD, man. And you listen to it as well.
Yeah.
Just an amazing CD. And the one that got me, I'll let you go first.
So, yeah, the amazing album altogether, you got to give it up for Clips. It's more than just the album. It's the moment. And it's hard for people to create those moments because this is a moment, Shep, 16 years in the making, we've been waiting for this album if you're a Clips fan.
Why are you looking at me when you say that?
Because I know earlier you were asking about what Clips was. We had to explain to you what it was.
I literally thought they were talking about social media clips for Woodward Sports. Okay, so it's a great conversation to have around a middle-aged white guy who listens to rock and roll and heavy metal. It's perfect.
We're going to get you in the game. Like, before Ricky finished, they had the most iconic lunchroom beat of all time.
Okay.
Of all time.
And are they making a comeback or?
Yeah, so Malice.
Okay.
There's two brothers. So Malice, the older brother. No, he's the youngest brother, actually.
Malice is younger.
Yeah, he ended up, finding God, changing his life. He tells the story. They were literally on a plane on tour, and he just one day just stood up in the plane and said, "I'm done." And he just left. Top of the game. Everybody loved him. Left. For years and years and years, his brother, Pusha T, who still was a rapper, would try to get him to come back. He would not come back. There's been rumors he's coming back. He changed his name to No Malice and never came back. And then eventually, he just, I guess, decided after the passing of his father that, hey, we're going to do it again.
And mother died 4 months apart.
Yep.
And that's hence the song Birds Don't Sing.
Man.
Pusha T, they both used to sell drugs back in the day, and that's what kind of like fit their style into their change in which they're both clean out. But their mom died, and Pusha raps about his last encounter with his mom, and their father dies 4 months later, and Malice raps about his last encounter with his father. And he had a line in there that I just was like, almost broke me.
Was it the fishing trip?
100%.
I knew it.
100%.
I knew it. The fishing
100%.
trip gets you every time.
But
The fishing trip or the fish and chips?
So he talks about how his dad lived for their fishing trips when they were a kid, and he just ends the bar with, "I had a dad."
Yeah.
Like, he just says it. Like, he kind of just almost stops trying to rap, and just you can just feel him be like, "Oh my God, I had a dad." Like, it's, oh, man.
I think the coolness, Shep, and it's just when you love something or something is nostalgic to you, and then that thing comes back and it has the return that you wanted it to have,
right.
It just hits different. I think Clips had the return that we all as fans wanted them to have.
Story for you. Ready? Okay, you guys are talking about that. Now, I don't know, would Usher be considered a rapper or no? Just
no, he's R&B singer. He's part of the R&B. He's part of the rhythm and blues culture.
So I was covering a Pistons-Cavs game, and if you recall, he was part of a management ownership team.
Yep,
right.
I remember that.
So it's a playoff game, and I wanted to do an interview with him prior to the jump, all right, on Fox Sports Detroit. Don't know him, saw him come in, approached him, 2 big bodyguards around him, and I said, hey, wanted to see if he'd do an interview. He looked at me and then turned back around as if to say, you don't matter. That's how I interpret it. I looked at him and I said, hey, man, I got to be honest with you. I can't name one song you sing. I'm a heavy metal dude. I listen to rock and roll. I just want to know if you want to talk about basketball. And I turned around and walked away. I took about 4 steps, and I felt this massive hand on my shoulder, and it's one of the bouncers. And he looks at me and goes, hey, man, he'll do it.
Yeah.
So all he cared about, he just didn't want fanboy there.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And talking about music.
Yep.
So we talked basketball, and I said, hey, no offense, but I listen to, AC/DC and Metallica and stuff like that. Yeah. I said, I hope I didn't offend you. He's like, no, man, that's cool. We'll just talk basketball. So we talked basketball, and that was it.
Yeah, he probably needed that because everyone probably has the same conversations with him. I imagine you had the same thing when you were in the league. People just say the same things over and over.
Yeah, they ask you the dumb questions.
You know what, though? A little different for me than Usher. Usher's reached, heights in which he's always on the road and he's always getting pulled in the direction. Girls scream his name, guys are screaming his name too. That's the world we live in now.
Guys scream your name.
But differently though. Completely different. I'm not judging anybody, but it's different. It's fathers and sons that love sports.
Where are we going with this?
Nowhere.
What happened?
Absolutely
what the hell
nowhere.
just happened?
Absolutely nowhere. We're not going anywhere. But just from that standpoint, like he's used to all the pulling and the grabbing and all that craziness, so he gets tired to talk about something that wasn't, Confessions or 8701 or My Way. He was excited to do that.
Yeah.
Me, I love talking football, so it's a little bit different, but I understand it.
I've always believed that athletes want to be either movie stars or musical entertainers and vice versa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
100%.
Okay, who'd you want to be?
Actor. I'd have been an actor. Like I didn't like Will Smith, and this is before the slap. I never was a Will Smith fan with the exception of yeah, because I got it.
He does a pretty good job of diverting certain things and then coming back on the main road, doesn't he?
Because I never was a fan, and when the slap happened, I was like, I told you, like it was something about him, just whatever. But I love everything else about that. I love that individual could have that fame in the world of acting, and if he was good, which I didn't think he was that good, he can really transform a character, transform a role. Ali was decent. I give him that. But
I can't say that I like him, but I think he's a great actor.
Who, Will Smith?
Yeah.
I think he has a potential. I think a lot of times he's too. Yeah.
One more time.
Yeah. He's corny.
That's it. Yeah.
Can you do that one more time?
Movies can be corny. Come on. I mean,
people can be corny too. Two things can be true.
Fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough. You guys know who Dr. Dre is?
Yes.
Oh, definitely.
All right.
Definitely. You talking about the world famous doctor from L.A.?
Yeah. So I'm working out at my gym one day. It's in Bloomfield or Beverly Hills, and I start working out, with doing the same exercises as him and this other guy. So we work in together. Okay, we're doing the same exercises. Super nice guy, yoked, right? Big, not as big as Braylon, but getting there. And
you talking about the Chronic, Dr. Dre?
Yeah. So we start talking, and we had a really good conversation. I left. Hey, have a great day. So on and so forth. Maybe a week later, we see this commercial. It's the Dr. Pepper commercial.
Yeah.
And he's on it.
Yeah.
And I looked at it. I said, man, that guy looks familiar to me. And my son looks at me and goes, yeah, no shit, Dad. I mean, that's Dr. Dre. And I said,
you didn't know it was Dr. Dre?
I had no idea.
I'll give you, all right, look, Shep, I'll give you a pass for Clips. Clips 2002. Yeah. I'll give you a pass. Dr. Dre?
I'm sorry. I didn't know who it was. And I went in the next day, and my buddy of mine was a trainer there, and I said, hey, Kev, last week when I was working out, he goes, yeah, Shep, you had no idea who you were working out with, did you? And I said, I had no clue.
That's great.
I said, why was he here? He says, because they're producing a new Eminem album.
I was just about to say. Yeah,
I said,
studio's not
got it. All right. Sometimes it's better when you don't know.
Yeah.
When you don't know who that is. You know what I mean?
Then you start acting weird.
I don't know if I would have. It might have been a little different if it was somebody from a band that I recognize or a band that I listen to.
Ozzy Osbourne.
He'd never be in the gym. But I hear where you're going with that. You had brought up earlier. You had brought up LaDainian Tomlinson. Now our friend Stick earlier today got into a little bit of a beehive. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think he does it on purpose, but he is very strong in his convictions, which is great. Okay, we should all be as strong in our convictions.
Tell us about it.
I think he's an idiot for saying that LaDainian Tomlinson's as good as Barry Sanders. Both are top 10 running backs, without question. And I don't say this with my heart. I've never been that guy. Just because they wear a Detroit uniform doesn't mean that they're the best of all time. As much as I love Al Kaline, I don't think he's the greatest right fielder of all time. Right. As much as I like Justin Verlander, I don't think he's the best pitcher of all time. All right? When it comes to running backs, and I never saw Jim Brown, when it comes to running backs, Barry Sanders is the greatest of all time. I don't know why people feel like there's a way that you can try to put a little bit of a nick in that armor of the greatest of all time. When you play 10 years and every year you're a Pro Bowler, when you play 10 years and you are literally knocking on the proverbial door of becoming the all-time leading rusher and chose to step away on your time, average 5 yards per carry, just because. And his text to me is, well, look at the stats. I could care less about stats. I'd take Eric Dickerson over LaDainian Tomlinson, who I like a lot. Okay,
2194.
But there's some really good debates about this. I wonder if people can separate their heart and their head and actually see where Stick's coming from.
I've had this conversation with Stick, and I've had it with other people. I played on the same team as LaDainian in 2010 for the Jets. I'll get back to that. There's no better running back than Barry Sanders. It just is what it is. And it's not because I'm from Detroit. I'm the guy from Detroit whose father played for the Lions, who did not grow up a Lions fan. I don't care if my dad played for the Lions. They sucked. I didn't like them. Mm-hmm. Like, I didn't like the people getting up every year just to get let down. But I did love the players, and Barry Sanders was the best player in the league, not named Jerry Rice, to me, and how he carried the game. There's nothing that he couldn't do in that backfield. He didn't even need an offensive line, with the exception of Lomas Brown. Shout out to Lo Brown.
Yeah. Kevin Glover, too.
Kevin Glover. And then Kevin Glover had to leave, 96? 95, 96?
Released and went to the Browns. They got Jim Pine. Or he went to Seattle and they got Jim Pine.
Understood. No disrespect to those two. Obviously know what happened to Mike Utley along the way.
Yeah.
With that being said, the way in which the offense was run by Norv Turner out in San Diego, like, it legitimately is a zone scheme where you go 5 wide, you got your tight end, and the quarterback drops in the shotgun. It's much easier for LaDainian Tomlinson. It's not gimmicky, because I'm not taking away from who LT was at TCU and who he was in the league. Mm-hmm. But it's a lot more space to be able to do the things. Like, here in Detroit, we knew who was getting the ball every single play, and he's still going to have 1,800 yards. He's still going to have 1,500 yards. He's still going to have 15 touchdowns. Every single year, he fit that bill. Yeah. There was nothing that you can do. Love LaDainian highlights. How many LaDainian's highlights start after the linebacker level, where you see him get ghost on the screen or you see him take off? All Barry's highlights start in the backfield.
Yeah, that's right.
All of his highlights. And to be honest, they start 5 yards deep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when you look at that and you want to throw out the receptions that LaDainian had and, the receiving yards, yes, he was a better receiving running back than Barry. He was asked to be that coming out of college.
Right.
Barry wasn't asked to be that coming out of Oklahoma State. So I understand the conversation. It's a fun conversation for Stick. There is no conversation. Barry Sanders is head and shoulders above LaDainian Tomlinson. I played with LaDainian his 9th year in the league. His 9th year in the league, I saw a play or two in the season that was pretty good. We had to play against the Denver Broncos, which he shook Champ Bailey. Mm-hmm. I thought that was kind of a move back in time. And there was another game, Buffalo game. He had the old school LT, flipped it. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, there was nothing special about LT. Go back and watch Barry's last year, which was year 10, and tell me what you saw. Go back and watch Barry's
1,500 yards.
Go back and watch Barry's year 9. Go back and watch Barry's year 8. And I'm saying these because at the end of LaDainian's career, it's 11-10, it's 730, it's 914, it's 280. That's not the case with Barry. Barry's last 4 years, 1,800, 1,500, 14 and some change, and 1,500 and some change. Yeah. Barry was like that. The fact that he played in Detroit, the fact that everyone hated Detroit, for whatever you want to say. They hated Detroit. They sucked in Detroit. The fact that people paint the narrative that he quit through the facts. When you paint these images and you don't see Detroit as a national team, it's easy to see why people take shots at Barry from time to time. They're talking about now, is Derrick Henry better than Barry Sanders?
What?
But I'm just saying, it goes into the stats, it goes into the popularity, and it goes to the playoff appearances. Derrick Henry every year is going to be floating around the AFC Championship game or the second round of the playoff. It's all about what have you seen.
Yeah, if people are saying that, I've got a little cup that they need to pee in because I think that's ridiculous.
Right.
Barry Sanders' 9th year, he rushed for 2,053 yards. His ninth year, okay?
Talk about it.
I mean, he could have easily played a few more years just because I didn't like the way he left the game, but he left the game on his terms. Yeah. I think it does help LaDainian Tomlinson, to your point, when you spread the receivers out the way they did and you have Antonio Gates, one of the greatest tight ends in history.
Right.
Also from Detroit.
Also from Detroit, who was a hell of a basketball player, by the way, and a Hall of Famer. Barry's playing with tight ends like David Sloan, who was yoked but wasn't nearly effective. What's that?
Rob Dyrdek.
Dyrdek, I don't remember him. I don't remember him.
There
are, he had obviously some good wide receivers. Herman Moore and Johnny Morton, of course, were really good, and Brett Perriman was really good. But I just think the way and it has nothing to do with highlight reels, okay? We're talking about taking something out of nothing, number one. But number two, ask another player.
Yeah.
Ask people in the NFL. Ask a defense. And it's unfortunate when you have these debates and these conversations, it's almost like you're downgrading one of the all-time greats, and that's not my intention. My intention is to elevate one all-time great and make sure everybody understands how I feel about the other all-time great.
And if I got to add to that, when you look at Barry Sanders and LaDainian Tomlinson, one of the things that always is going to hurt Barry Sanders is total stats, counting stats, because his career is going to be a little bit shorter than some of the running backs from his day and age.
Yeah.
But even then, when people try to elevate the nearly 5,000 receiving yards that LaDainian Tomlinson had in his career, do you guys understand? 153 games for Barry Sanders, 170 for LaDainian Tomlinson.
Right.
Do you know what the total yards for their career was?
Yeah.
18,456 for LaDainian, 18,190 for Barry Sanders.
Well, that's total yards.
Yeah,
that's not
for the
rushing yards.
But he's just saying in
Yeah,
general.
I mean, just in general. So even when people try to elevate how impactful the receiving might have been for LaDainian, Barry Sanders was still step for step, yard for yard with him in nearly almost 20 less games. And in rushing, you're looking at almost 20 more yards per game. Barry Sanders over LaDainian Tomlinson. That's pretty wild to me.
Yeah.
Realistically, I stop with the conversation, stop with the debate, because the only thing that you can put above Barry, like if somebody wanted to put somebody above Barry, it would have to be championships or their playoff run. And outside that, because guess what? LT, I remember what LT was in the playoffs. He was the one that didn't want to play in Pittsburgh, and I played on the same team as him. I remember I remember that game in Pittsburgh when he was on the sideline chilling because it was a little bit too cold outside.
What?
Like 100%. This is LT. This is LT.
Right, he's a football player, bro.
Does he know he signed in New York?
Played in San Diego. Played in San Diego. But
He's a man.
No. This is before he was in New York. This is when LT was with the Chargers, and he was coming from West Coast, and they had to go play Pittsburgh, and he was a little too cold. I got a toe injury. I'm just saying, like, don't put him above. He's not the one to be above Barry if you want to go that route. Emmitt Smith will be the one. Even though I don't like Emmitt, whatever. Yeah. Emmitt Smith, because you can make the yards, the totality, the stats, Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
You have that. That's the type of comparison that I would put to Barry Sanders, and I would be here for.
Yeah, I agree with
Walter
that.
Payton, I would accept that from the older generations. I would accept Walter Payton.
Same here. Yeah. The sweetness was unbelievable. I think a lot depends on what statistics mean most to you. Yeah. So, I mean, Kool-Aid just brought up some good ones. I mean, if that's the case, then Gale Sayers only played 7 years.
Towards ACL.
Jim Brown only played 9 years and left, and he still is the all-time leader in yards per game at 104.3. You look at his 117 games to Barry's 153. That's how dominant that man was for an extended period of time. We're talking about 1957 through 1965, okay? Before all of us were born, for crying out loud, including the old guy in the room. So that's how great. When people talk about it, when Barry Sanders' father says, I think you're no Jim Brown, and everybody scoffed at it. That's part of the reason. When you see a man who is that good, that dominant for that extended period of time, and left on his own terms too, by the way. Nobody ever says that. Jim Brown left to do flipping movies. All right, he went to go work with all those guys, Clint Eastwood and those guys, and George, whatever their names are, in movies, in military movies, and Marine movies, and all this other stuff, because he had enough.
Yeah. Here, let's play a game. Better, even though we think Barry is the end-all, be-all, let's have a conversation. Are they on the same level? Because I think that's fair. Because if we're not going to have somebody better, are they on the same level? Jim Brown, same level as Barry Sanders?
Yes.
Walter Payton, same level as Barry Sanders?
Yes.
Emmitt Smith, same level?
Unfortunately,
no.
yes.
It's really hard for me to say.
Unfortunately, I have to say yes.
I like what Ricky said. Unfortunately, I got to say yes. Look,
objectively.
If you go, you've been seeing that new stat that they've been doing with the college, high school, NFL stats to see who has the most. Yeah. Emmitt Smith has the most at every single level. So I hate it, but I'll put him in
Helps to have Nate Newton, but go ahead.
Adrian Peterson.
No.
Okay. Then that's where I will. Oh, Marcus Allen.
No, but I really like to play. Yeah.
Jerome Bettis.
No.
Terrell Davis.
No.
O.J. Simpson.
Yes.
I would say yes.
I would
O.J.
too.
Simpson was phenomenal.
I think after that is the cutoff.
I got Eric Dickerson in.
And well, after Eric Dickerson, I think that's the cutoff, and everybody else, including LT, including Marshall Faulk, including those, they fall into that top tier, that second tier.
Yeah, Jim Kick.
Yeah, Barry's
I'm just kidding.
at the top of the one tier for me.
I'm just kidding with Jim Kick. That was from the Dolphins in '72. I'm
out.
with you on the only one, and this is he doesn't belong in the same tier as Barry, but this is my emotional attachment. Okay, I'm free to admit that. Okay, usually I think with my head. When I bring up Earl Campbell, I love the guy, and I really, really think he's one of the greatest of all time.
My dad blocked for him.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's in that same tier. But it's a select tier, right? Is there anybody in recent years? Let's go the last, 5-7 years. Anybody who's even close? Like Roger Craig was really good. Okay.
First running back to go 1,000.
Amazing player. Christian McCaffrey, I thought, was on that path.
Yeah.
I do.
That's who I thought of.
Yeah.
Maybe Kamara for half a season.
Yeah. just not the longevity. I think there's something to be said for longevity.
It is. It's tough to have that type of career. I mean, you're talking Edgerrin James is another name that comes to mind. I think people forget about him. He's one of those forgotten running backs, but you shouldn't. Go look up his stats. He's also a Hall of Famer, first ballot.
Can I bring you another name? Marshall Faulk.
100%. Second running back to go 1,000.
Like outstanding out of the backfield, right? And if you've never seen these guys, I'm not going to blame you, but there is something. We're on it right now, YouTube. Go use it and go check out their highlights. They're spectacular. They're really fun to watch. I'm not talking about Chuck Muncie here, all right? I'm not saying Larry Zonka. I'm not going to go that far back. Tony Dorsett was an unbelievable player.
University of Pitt.
Yeah, he's a really good player, man, and he's probably not in the same conversation, but it's fun to have the conversation about guys like that. He was awesome. He really was. My guy was Chuck Foreman when I was a kid.
Okay.
Loved Chuck Foreman from Minnesota. Played at Miami, played at the U. Played part of those Minnesota Viking Purple People leader teams, but never won a Super Bowl. But
Alan
he would
Page,
never be in
rest
that.
in peace.
Oh, my God. Unbelievable. All right, we'll take a quick time out. Here's one from Feldman Chevrolet.
Yeah, I got Feldman for the people right over here. Feldman Chevrolet is Michigan's #1 Chevy dealership. And you guys want to make sure you're taking advantage of these specials right now. They have 5 locations in Highland, New Hudson, Novi, Livonia, and Lansing. And this month's specials include the 2025 Silverado 1500 Crew. Lease it for $189. You guys see it right there. The 2026 Equinox LT, lease it for $209 a month. And this offer, it ends August 10th. So get there, guys. You see the QR code on the screen somewhere above my head. Make sure you scan it. Make sure you support. Hey, let's go.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
I look like I work at Planet Fitness with this purple shirt on. Look, man, teams 14 and 19, you guys work out free all summer long. June 1st to August 31st. Come on, man, get in that gym. Mental health is just as important as physical health. So we want to get you physical health and we want to get you mental health by getting you out of the house and off the games and away from the screens. High school summer pass, we bought it back just for you. You got to get out. You got to have a good time. And there's no better place to do it than Planet Fitness, where there's no judgment. The gyms are squeaky clean and the people are just good. If you're not 14 and 19, well, it's business as usual. Fitness that fits into your budget. Come on down to Planet Fitness, man, where your fitness is essential.
You and I are watching some of the practice rounds at the British Open, or the Open Championship.
Hey, there you go.
You had a pretty fun excursion not too long ago with some former professional friends. What was Bandon Dunes like out in Oregon?
Bandon Dunes was great. I went out there 3 weeks ago with Joey Harrington. We talked about it a little bit, but there were some more fun, nuanced things that happened behind the scenes. Just great to be a part of that energy. You got All-Americans. Kajana Carter, Heisman Trophy winner, Eric Crouch, Heisman Trophy winner, Jonathan Ogden to be in the Hall of Fame with his time with the Baltimore Ravens, played at UCLA. Dallas Clark is still as crazy as I remember him when he was at Iowa. Wow, man, I hated playing against Dallas because he did the same route in college that he did in NFL. He ran a 12 to 15-yard basic, which is an inside breaking route, 15-yard in. He's going to catch it. He's going to find his way to the end zone. He killed us at Iowa. He beat me at I only lost to two Big Ten schools when I was in college, Ohio State and Iowa. We could not beat Iowa for the life of me. But just being in that space, and it was cool, and it was vibed out. But they had a part 3 challenge, and you've been watching these new things. It's like the walk-up challenge. So as you get ready to tee off on a part 3, usually the shot is somewhere around 140 to 130. And everybody just says all type of slanderous things about you. Some people are worse than others, but that was fun, and I got a chance to participate in it too. They got me though. Like, I thought my game was smooth. I thought I'd be above it. It wasn't.
So it's about who you are now. It's about how you look. It's about your swing. It could be about a lot of different things.
Yeah. Once the drinks start flowing, it can be anything. It could be about a marriage that didn't work out. It can get juicy. Mine wasn't like that. Mine was more so just my suit. Like, I had like my golf pants mixed in with the shirt. Somebody called me Frozone from The Incredible. So I get up to shoot my shot, and it's dead silent. So I'm thinking I've escaped, like, the joke. I'm like, okay, well, I'm in shape. I feel good, look good. They don't have anything to say about me. Right when I get ready to swing, Will Dissly, shout out to Will Dissly, plays with the Chargers right now. I also play for Jim Harbaugh. He says, honey, where's my super suit? And I tell you, I shanked one so bad, I thought I was going to hit the drink cart. But it's a fun challenge. I saw one where they was dogging Alonzo Mourning. They dogged out Anthony. Who does Blackish? Anthony Anderson. They went in on him. It can be about anything. Your show's not being funny. Your movie's not being funny. They talked about Alonzo Mourning just being a hype man, to Shaq. So it's fun. I think everybody should engage in a walk-up challenge before the summer's over.
That's pretty good. But you played the entire course, right? I mean,
we played 3 out of 5. There's five courses: the Preserve, the Old Mac, Bandon Dunes itself, Sheep's Ranch, and I'm missing one. I can't remember.
I heard that's the ultimate guy trip.
Yeah,
if you're into golf, I heard that's the
thing.
ultimate guy trip. And I believe the same people who own that own a lot of property in Wisconsin are doing something similar in Wisconsin. Is that true?
Yeah, 100%. They got something coming in Wisconsin. There was some Wisconsin guys there as well. So they're excited for what they're doing. But it's great. Ultimate guys trip. You get on there. You probably fly into Portland and you drive down. Fly into Portland and you fly to Eugene. Drive down. It's like 2.5 hours. If you got the big bucks, you can just take a PJ straight there. Appreciate you, Joey, on that one. But, you can get down there, 2.5-hour ride. You kind of get the vibes. It's off the coast. You get to see the Pacific Ocean. You get in there, and it's kicking it.
What's the link with you and Joey Harrington?
The Big Ten.
Okay.
The Big Ten. Joey was
even though he didn't play in the Big Ten.
Well, he didn't, but
Oregon.
now Oregon's in the Big Ten.
Sure.
And so his golf outing was always the Pac-12 Challenge or the Battle abandoned Pac-12. Well, they're in the Big Ten, so they needed to expand. They had to get some Big Ten guys, and so Ohio State was there this year, represented by Joey Galloway. Penn State was represented by O.J. McDuffie and Kajana Carter. Moose and Mahana, shout out to Moose, Michigan State. You know, I love some Michigan State people. Moose is one of those guys.
I worked with him. Yeah, he's a good man.
Great man.
Yeah.
Dallas Clark, Iowa. So it's some Big Ten love.
So
in
he
there.
brings in at least one representative
Two.
of every school? Two representatives. Who
Brings
else
in two.
represented Michigan with you?
Me, Dehani Jones.
Oh, very cool.
Your best friend.
100%, man.
I
Dehani,
love that.
1997 National Championship team. Businessman. Like when you get around Dehani's not talking sports. Dehani's not talking Lions. Dehani's not talking about Bryce Underwood at Michigan. He is talking about business deals. He's talking about tariffs. He's talking about all the things. His conversations got tuned out. Just
High
say
level
that.
stuff, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So when he says Joey Harrington, what do people think of?
A quarterback
quickly.
that didn't work here.
What do you think of?
You already know,
I
man. Everything wrong with the Lions.
Okay.
For a long time.
I just feel bad for him, honestly.
Do you really?
Yeah, because
I feel bad for you
I think
why?
because you're the one who had to watch him. I think piano. Fair or unfair?
Oh,
I think
yeah.
piano, and perhaps that's because, and I thought it was an inappropriate rip by people, but they thought it was a little delicate and a little soft, right? I mean, football, you got to be a tough SOB, right? Joey Harrington did not always come across that way, much to his
100%.
fault in Detroit, correcting people on how to say Oregon and little things like that. But when he brings up the piano, I think people found an opportunity to pounce. Watching the series quarterback, which I think is phenomenal, by the way. I mean, I think it's some of the best TV, some of the best produced stuff I've ever seen in television. How they match it, the editing, all the things that they're able to cut up. I know Peyton Manning and Patrick Mahomes are the executive producers. The people they've got working on that show are top notch. It's awesome. Omaha. Joe Burrow plays the piano. He's learning to play the piano. Nobody's ripping on his ass because he's got 41 touchdowns and he's thrown for almost 5,000 yards, right? What's up with that? Why?
It goes back to – go ahead, Ricky.
And that's one of the reasons I feel bad for him. I feel like he can't do anything right at some point, especially when it comes to Detroit fans. Like, he was just thrown in such a bad situation. Not to say that he wasn't bad a player, so that didn't make it easier. But I feel like his name, no matter what he does, Detroit just does not like it. That's why I feel bad for him.
Just to piggyback on that, like that's why I answered it the way I did to your question. People associated him with everything bad with Lions during that time. But you're right. He was the guy that came with some talent to an organization that was not operating at the level that it is right now. Not even Matthew Stafford came to an organization that was operating at the level that it is right now. And sometimes I do. Things get downhill. He became the lightning rod, I believe, for a lot of people's angst surrounding the Detroit Lions. But I'll tell you this. Post-career Joey Harrington, I've fallen in love with him. I think he's fabulous media-wise, and I've liked his takes on the Lions, and he's been a lot more right than wrong. The guy got a brilliant, really good football mind, in my opinion.
When you see that, are you asking yourself, why weren't you like this when you were here?
Yeah, but see, hold on. But now I got to interject. I'll let you guys talk. Now I have to interject. Look, you knew this was a terrible place to come back in the day. This is a horrible place to come. And I know Jeff Backus, Jeff's my guy, shout out to University of Michigan, but you guys all talked about that line. That offensive line at the time was talked about. That running game that didn't exist was talked about. The wide receivers that you had at the time. Rest in peace to Charles Rogers, who continuously break his clavicle. Continued to break his collarbone so he couldn't be of service. You draft Mike Williams. Well, we know how that experiment went. Roy Williams was the only serviceable wide receiver you had, and he was always in his own world. Yeah. We didn't know if he wanted to marry 18-year-old girls and get the ring shipped back, or if he wanted to lose bets on planes. Boy. This is what his offense was at the time. Yeah. This is what the organization was at the time. They were what? Couple years away from going 0-16. Yeah. You're talking about a 22-year-old kid coming from Oregon. All he wanted to do is pronounce the city or the state that he comes from, pronounce that right. But he gets stuck in this situation, much like I got stuck in Cleveland, and now I got to come deal with all the disappointment of the years before. Now Joey has to come and fix all the things that have happened the years before. It's not his fault that we lost to the Redskins, now the Commanders, in 1992. It's not his fault. Insert stories that have happened since. So I think you get a 22-year-old that doesn't know how to balance that, doesn't do well under that type of pressure. You move on from him, and now his career is incident after incident. He told me a story. When he left Detroit, he went to Atlanta. Right when he gets to Atlanta, you know what happens? He's the backup, but the Mike Vick situation happens. He thought he was going to be the backup.
Oh, yeah, he did talk about that.
100. That happens. They bounced him out of there. But just a lot of things happen. David Carr. He gets drafted to the Houston Texans.
I thought he went to Miami and then Atlanta.
He did. Miami then.
Okay.
He got drafted the Nick Saban deal. That didn't work, and Nick left in the middle of the season. He was on that team.
Ironically enough, Joey Harrington was the 3rd overall pick, right? Yeah. And you were the 3rd overall
We
pick.
stick together, man.
Yeah, I think perhaps the difference there is, and again, I respect every athlete who reaches that high level, but the difference there, he's throwing more picks than touchdowns. When you're losing games and you're throwing to the wrong team, and there are ways to win a fan base over without having great success. That's the easiest way to win them over is having success, of course. But if you're acting like a pompous jackass, I think that's what hurts you. And I was a little surprised that he didn't have a feel for the room a little bit sooner in his career in Detroit. I'm not saying it would have changed everybody's minds, but it's hard to root against people you like. Now, look, I mean, Matthew Stafford's a really good example because he's a hell of a player, okay? He's one of the best players of his generation. He really is. He's tough, even though Zach Follett, like an idiot, called him a China doll, which is one of the more moronic things we've ever seen. But Joey Harrington never came off that way. Whether he was tough or not, look, you got to be tough to play in the NFL. But he never came across that way. And when you're in Detroit, you know this better than I do, when you're in Detroit, there is a vibe, there is a feel you have to project in order for people to embrace you.
Yeah, this is true. This is definitely true. I think it's all. I don't remember exactly Joey in that time. I can't speak from like the media side that time. At that time, I was a college player that was watching the highlights, if you want to be honest. So I can't dive into that. But it's also a difference when you're throwing to Calvin Johnson and when you're throwing to a guy that may not be here tomorrow. Yeah,
no, it's a fair point. The only thing I bring up with Matthew Stafford all the time is, look, Golden Tate comes here and he has a career year. Yeah. Nate Burleson comes here, he has a career year. Brandon Pettigrew plays here 2 straight years. He sets the Lions' all-time record for tight ends in receptions. You need the quarterback for the wide receiver and vice versa.
Yeah.
There's not many quarterbacks who make Chris Durham a 45-catch guy in a season, okay? Because he should be somewhere, right, selling insurance.
Is this the other side of that? Matt Stafford is a quarterback that probably would have been the number 1 quarterback taken and probably – I'm just throwing a random number out there, 35 of the last 40 NFL drafts. Meanwhile, Joey is a 3rd pick where you're like, I hope.
Yeah.
I hope he's the guy at 3. Everyone knows Matt's the guy at 1, and I would argue that he's arguably the best number 1 not named Peyton Manning, and we can find some more in the last 25, 30 years.
I'm with you on that. I do believe that's a really fair point. With Joey Harrington, I think it's where the Lions drafted for need instead of drafting the best player. I remember that draft pretty vividly. Quentin Jammer was the guy a lot of people wanted. Was a really good player.
San Diego Chargers.
I would say he was better than Joey Harrington. That was the debate. Do you take the best player available or do you take for need? I hate drafting for need. Hate it. I take the best player who is out there. And then if there's a guy I need, a position I need, and the best player, and they're pretty damn close, then I'll make that
decision. Did they take Joey and then get Westbrook, or did Westbrook come a couple years before that?
I think Brian Westbrook came before that. He was the 5th overall pick out of Texas.
Yeah, I remember because he was, but Quentin Jammer, he went on the same team. Quentin was younger, I think.
Correct.
And Westbrook was on that team.
Yeah.
You brought up this quarterback show. I tapped into it.
Do you like it?
I wanted so bad to say no, and I don't like the fact that Kirk Cousins is on there again. I think him and his Walmart act is a little bit overdone. I think I'm starting to get to a point with Kirk Cousins where I think it's an act more than anything, but that's neither here nor there. I love it because it tells stories and stories that you may not know. You look at Jared Goff and, for whatever you think, he's really in the trenches with these players. Mm-hmm. He's really out here with these players. Mm-hmm. Like, he really low-key he's a Dan Campbell guy. Mm-hmm. He's a grit guy. Mm-hmm. And you're able to dive into that world. You're able to see that world more. You're able to see I guess I'm spoiling it, but you guys saw last season. You saw the injury, the ankle injury that he sustains. You get more on what that injury was or more on what he couldn't do. You like him more. I thought that Joe Burrow was more like what I was going to see. I thought Joe Burrow was what I was going to see from Jared Goff. And I thought what I saw from Jared Goff is what I was going to see from Burrow. I thought he was going to be this cool, number one, blah, blah, blah. He's in with the fellas. He's more aloof and he's out to the side. He's just more talented than everybody, and he's him off to the side. Jared Goff is really in here with those guys. He really is like a Detroit guy from 2021 when he came in here with bodyguards walking around Birmingham. Like, so that part of the show is great.
Burrow's a different cat. I'm trying to decide whether I like him. I think he's a phenomenal player. But there were times, like my daughter watches it. In the first episode, my daughter says, I said, what do you think of Joe Burrow? And she knows who he is anyway. She follows it enough. Where she says, that guy's so good looking. That's all she said, right? By the last episode, where he's walking into, a suite full of people, and he's got a black leather jacket on with nothing underneath, and somebody says, do you have a shirt on under there? He says, no. You like that? She's like, oh, my God, give me a break. Right. Like, the pomposity of it makes you a little bit tired of it, right? Like you said you're tired of Kirk Cousins and how nice he is and how genuine he seems. Yeah. The same thing with me with Joe Burrow. I'm still trying to figure out whether I like him or not. There's no question I came out liking Jared Goff even more than I liked him going in.
I agree with that.
Now, they had a wide receiver one, too. I assume you watched that, and you liked that a lot, didn't you?
Wide receiver one was cool. I love the fact that Amon-Ra has that personality that he has. I love that they really highlight that. I like George Kittle a lot as a person. I like some of the same interests that he's into, the shoes. I like the dynamic that
he's a different cat, too, isn't he?
He is. He's Iowa guy. So it makes sense. When I see him, I see Dallas. So I understand it 100%. The cool thing about it, though, too, going back to Joe Burrow, is remember the game that they showed he had 400-plus yards? I mean, that's every game for him. But 400-plus yards, 4 touchdowns, they win. This is one of the wins. He doesn't have a lot of 404 wins. He's got a lot of 404 losses. But then they humanize him because after you come back and you see that he was robbed, and so you start to deal with the part of athletes being human beings. And I think this is a real situation. And people are like, well, he got robbed and nothing can happen. I remember in 2007, I remember when Sean Taylor, who hired some people in his neighborhood to help him keep up his house. They did the landscaping at his house. Well, they thought he was in D.C., and they didn't think he was going to be around the house. So what do? They steal from him. And what happened? He happened to be home this particular week when they broke into his house. They shot him in the leg. He dies because they hit an arm. There's a human element to being an athlete. So many people just see the bag. They see the viral clips. They see Jay Jettas doing this one hand and all that kind of stuff. When he takes that cape off, when Joe Burrow comes home, he's a regular guy. He's a regular, and I think they humanize him in that way, much like you saw John Madden do for Brett Favre. When Brett Favre's, I know it's completely different, but you saw the human element of Brett Favre when his father passed away. He still plays in Monday Night Football game, and he lit it up. That human element, I think, is what receiver, what quarterback, what the starting five, which is the NBA's version of this, it shows you that human element. People have wives, they have kids, they deal with death, they deal with sickness, they deal with BS. So that's what these shows are really good at.
Yeah, I love that, and you're so right. The other thing that fascinated me perhaps the most, I think it was episode 2, might have been episode 3, where all the quarterbacks are talking almost in unison, all the things that they're looking at. When they're breaking the huddle in 25 seconds, they're looking at protections, they're kind of figuring out which play they have to call. There are so many things going through their head to try and process things within a 25-second span. Then they've got to execute the play. It really makes you appreciate the sport of football. So that's well said. Let's take a quick time out and more on what we've got with Woodward Sports merchandise.
Yeah, hey, look, we're going to have merch. And then right after that, Shep, you're going to tell the people about Lady James. But first, are you tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch? It's a new era in sports wearables, new designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Check out the Woodward Sports latest gear at woodwardsports.com and click shop. Hoodies, tees, and hats that are guaranteed to turn heads. Get the latest designs today at woodwardsports.com and click shop.
I like to be simple as much as possible. All right. I don't like confusion. I think it's really kind of ridiculous to complicate your life. You don't need, there's other people doing that for you. So if you can make it as simple as possible, then you know those people are looking out for you. Lady Jeans is such. Lady Jeans haircut for men is really easy. You walk in, you sign in, and before you know it, you are as handsome as Ricky and as clean as Kool-Aid. Lady Jeans, it's open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. You can walk in at any time. It is wicked awesome, and where you become wicked handsome. And that's not easy to do in today's world.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Hey, it's Stick from Woodward Sports. I'm out here at the Feldman shop, of course, you know, because they are #1 people. And the Ineos Grenadier, that's the new car that they got. But I got my man here, the Sun God. I'm not lying. His name is Amon-Ra.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He sold me a car.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up? Come see us out here, baby. We're in Waterford. We got the pre-owns all day. We got the Grenadiers, and we got new Chevys all day. Whatever you need, we got you.
Yeah, and I went with this one. I like it. 2023 Durango. It's used. Only got like 30,000 miles on it. And this guy, man, I was like, listen, this is my price. You either make it happen or I'm out of here.
Easy.
You know what he did? Went to his boss. He's like, I'm making this happen for this guy. Came back, threw the contract on the table. Now I'm in the whip.
Yes, sir. Sign, drive, 0 down, easy money all day.
All right, Feldman, what's the address here, do you know?
5300 Highland Road, Waterford, Michigan, 48327. Open until 6 o'clock every weekday except 9 o'clock on Mondays and Thursdays. It's 4 o'clock on Saturdays. Only day we're not here for you is Sunday. Every other day we're here to get it done, baby.
And his legit name is Amon-Ra. I'm not lying. It was destined. It was meant to be. Woodward Sports found this guy. So
Exactly.
Thank you very much, man. Enjoying the car, and the kid likes it too. It's nice and safe.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Armani and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Oh, you know what? I am ready for Dr. Pierce. Yo, attention sports fans, don't miss out on an expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spines. Look, you know we have him in usually every Thursday, but Dr. Pierce is more than just cool takes and cool trips. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday on Big D Energy, and then Thursdays with us, the Braylon Show. You got to trust the guy that I trust. You got to trust the guy that D-Mac trust, man. It's also more than just sports. It's also more than just medicine with Doc. He cares about the people that he works with, man. I'm telling you. Dr. Jeff Pierce is the guy that you want to work with. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or just call 248-426-9944. I use it. I approve.
Good dude, he is. I saw him leaving here as I was coming in, so I yelled two things. Doc, he turned around.
Yeah.
JP, I don't know the nicknames. It might be either.
You
know, I've been called a hell of a lot worse than that. Couldn't talk to him. He is also the team doctor for the Detroit Amps,
Yes,
Detroit's new Big Three team that plays Sunday at Little Caesars Arena. 3 o'clock is when things get rolling, so I hope people get a chance to get out there and check it out. Just a couple of quick comments. Somebody said, Crazy Clown said, Dwight Evans rivaled K-Line's arm, but I think K-Line was better. K-Line was better. He's a Hall of Famer. Dwight Evans was not. Dwight Evans had a great arm. Roberto Clemente might have had the greatest arm from right field. Jesse Barfield had an unbelievable arm. Dave Parker had an unbelievable arm. So those are just a few names, but that's good. I mean, I love that context. The Lions had the unfortunate luck of Eric Andlusek as well. He was the other offensive lineman. Right. He was cutting his grass. 92? I don't know. I forget the year, but he was cutting his grass, and a truck ran up on the lawn and hit him.
Oh, wow.
So that was awful. Somebody said Barry Sanders behind the Hogs, he would have rushed for 3,000 yards in a season.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's an excellent point. I remember watching the Lions of the Silverdome, and the moment he touched the ball, everyone stood up. Yeah. That might be the best comment I've read. It is almost like a shootout in hockey, or maybe the encore of clicks. Everybody stands up, and they're like, okay, this is what I'm seeing next. I can't wait. This might be the last time. It's pretty awesome.
If I'm being honest, that's more so where I was going with the conversation. LaDainian, like, look, I watched LaDainian at TCU. I watched LaDainian his early career in San Diego when I was in the league. I was in college. Once I got to the league, I still was watching him. His infamous year when he broke the touchdown record, which is 31 and 32. That was my rookie year. So this is my introduction to the NFL. Was that? So he is an amazing player. But when he came to the Jets, and I understood it's year 9 for him. Year 9 for him. Let that sink in.
Yeah.
Year 9 for him.
Yeah.
There were no moments like, for me, I'm not a guy that watches, whatever. Like, I'm a guy that's in the game.
Okay.
I was looking to have moments where I was watching LT and forgetting the block or forgetting to do something because this was that. I didn't have but 2 of those moments. And it's no knock. It's just the truth. Yeah. I remember watching that 9th year for Barry. Every moment to that point. That's a hell of a comment. Every moment, especially if you're in Pontiac. Every moment at the Silverdome. I missed the wind tunnel, by the way, but every moment in the city, I missed that wind tunnel. I don't know what it was, but the wind tunnel, every moment you're waiting when 20 gets the ball because you know it's going to happen. And if it's not this play, it's the next play. And if it's not the next play, that third play is going to be something crazy. Right. Like, that's not what you got out of LT in year 9 for me.
So there's a few things that come to mind. You're right. I mean, the Silverdome was not great, but it was our.
It was ours.
It was our trash can.
WrestleMania 3 stamped it.
Going to the Silverdome growing up is why I'm a Lions fan. Just being there and seeing that and feeling that, I could never turn my back on that team.
And not just for the Lions either, by the way. For the Pistons, who played there.
In the beginning, in 87, 86, 87.
87, even before then. 87, that's when they had the largest crowd in history against Boston. I was there. Me and my buddies were there for the 88 finals. We tailgated outside the Silverdome and went and watched Detroit, unfortunately, lose to Los Angeles in 7 games. They got totally screwed. But I digress. But a couple of things there. I agree with you with the Silverdome. It was a special place. It was so loud, and Barry made you. There's no way you're going to the bathroom. There's no way you're going to the concession stand when Detroit's on offense. It's just you're an idiot for doing that. I think it's because we had nothing else that. In addition to him being super and a superstar, we had nothing else. We knew the team wasn't that great. I liked Benny Blades. I liked Jerry Ball. I liked Chris
Jerry
Spielman,
Ball,
right?
number 93.
I loved Robert Porcher and Lomas Brown and all those guys. But when you can say our guy's the best, I want you to think about this for a minute. Yeah. How many times in this city's history can we say we've got the best player in the sport?
1, 2.
Who are you counting?
You said what?
I said you said 1, 2. Who are you counting? I just want to make sure I'm not going to be the same one.
I'm counting the person who is the reason why the NHL went on a strike in the first place.
It's true.
And if you don't want to give him more than 1, 2 years, he still got the 1, 2 years. I'm talking about Sergei Fedorov.
Yeah, Mario Lemieux, Wayne Gretzky, I would say we're better, but he's in the conversation. He's in the conversation. Basketball, I love Isaiah Thomas, but he's overshadowed. We all know by who.
Magic, Bird, and Jordan.
Okay, all those guys. Nobody considered him the best at what he did.
Fair.
All right?
That's fair.
Whether you like John Stockton or not, many people felt like he was as good a distributor.
Verlander.
Okay.
That's who I was going to say.
Okay, that's a really good one. I didn't go there, but that's a good one. Cabrera at his peak.
Yeah. Triple crown.
All right.
I'm so mad he got hurt in that second Triple Crown pursuit because people don't give him the credit because they don't understand the injury. He would have easily won the Triple Crown. I mean, injuries happen, so it is what it is. But he would have won a back-to-back Triple Crown, which hadn't been done or never. Like, I digress.
I guess my point is it's not that many. I mean, we're not going back to Ty Cobb, who's arguably the greatest hitter of all time. Ted Williams is in that conversation, of course. But that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Our lifetime, there's not that many. Barry Sanders was that guy. So we actually were able to walk around with a Lions jersey and be able to say, we've got the best there is in the sport. We may not be good as a team, but we are great at one position. And he is the best. And I think that meant something to a lot of people, all right? Speaking of the Lions, there's a recent New York Times article out that talks about the breakout candidate for each NFL team. They have Terrion Arnold for Detroit. I immediately thought of you because of this reason. I actually thought he had a good year last year. I know it was a struggle. However, I think playing cornerback in the NFL, from talking with players and coaches over the years that I've covered it, is the second hardest transitional position in the NFL. Quarterback 1, cornerback 2. I thought he got better as he went, and I think when he's as close to receivers, I know he got a lot of PIs early on, at least he was in the position.
Yeah.
There's something to be said for that. He got a little handsy. Alabama teaches their corners that way. He got a little handsy. What's your definition of a young corner and how you want to see him progress in these certain areas?
I think Terrion Arnold could take a huge jump this year, and it wouldn't even necessarily be a big jump from where he already is. And what I mean by that is the perception of the season he had last year, people don't take into account what the defensive line was. You get a lot of holding calls when your team can't rush the quarterback. When your team can't rush the quarterback, DBs have to guard for now 5.5, 6, 7 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, that is impossible. I don't care if you're guarding the fifth guy on the team, you can't cover him for 7 seconds. It just won't happen. So I think they'll be better on the defensive line this year, so that'll naturally help him out. You're right. He made a lot of plays. He was in a lot of good spots. He comes from that Alabama, and they have a lot of players on there. Nick Saban teaches a type of ball that you want guys from that stable. I just want to see a lot less penalties. I just want to see a lot less penalties this year because I believe he'll have what he needs. I believe he has the coach that he needs. I believe he has somebody on the other side, too, that can help him. And DJ Reed. DJ Reed was nice. And he gets a lot of penalties, too. Yeah. But I think now he's in a teaching role. I think now he's in a mentor role. I think now he'll take what he learned over the last 7 years in the league. I think he'll be very helpful to Terrion Arnold. Terrion Arnold can prove. Brad Holmes, he doesn't make too many mistakes. And I think moving up just far enough to get Terrion Arnold and not necessarily moving all the way up to go after a certain DB that now plays for the Philadelphia Eagles, Quinyon Mitchell. I think it may prove to be a good move with the defensive line and with DJ Reed being on the opposite side.
I love that. I think DJ Reed was a great, and I try not to use that word very often, a great offseason pickup. I thought it was fantastic. Could there be another player in that conversation? Besides Terrion Arnold, who else would be that potential breakout candidate for the Lions? The beauty of what they've got going is they've got a lot of guys who have reps under their belt. So how many are quote-unquote breaking out unless you want to try to land that on a rookie? Because Brian Branch already broke out.
He broke out
already broke out. Those guys
Jack Campbell already broke out to a certain extent. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not sexy with Jack Campbell, but you know it's going to be productive.
I
don't
love
know
him.
what.
Absolutely
You know it's
love
going
him.
to be productive as hell. So I love that about him. He's not necessarily trying to break out. I'm tired of the J-Mo. Does he break out this year? He's past the breakout point. Like with J-Mo, he would be the last guy, but I don't even want to put him in that conversation. We saw him get 1,000 last year. You know, so.
I was shout out to KG. I was just about to say the guys like the Christian Mahoganies of the world are the ones that I'm looking at in this rake straw from last year. Remember when we were like, are they gonna finally address? Are they gonna take another stab at the secondary? And they went and they got 2 cornerbacks. And we heard as soon as they put the pads on, the first player that they were absolutely glazing up, it was in this rake straw, and then the injuries happened. So I'm looking forward to seeing in that secondary. What exactly is he going to be? Because they've mentioned his name several times throughout the offseason.
Can you be a breakout player when you're the slot corner? Or a special teams guy and you're not getting every down reps?
If your impact on the team is enough to where you see it, to where you hear it, to where you feel it, on the football sense of because I got a position too. It's like that. Like, can you be a breakout? Can you be a breakout offensive lineman?
Oh, when you're Penei Sewell, when you're Joe Thomas, when you're Jonathan Ogden, I think you're damn right you can be.
What about Ratledge?
As a rookie, I expect him to start. As a second-year guy, first he's got to sign. But as a second-round guy, I expect him to start. Is that a potential breakout, or are we kind of easing him in as a rookie? I suppose that depends on how we define potential breakout.
Yeah, it's different now because you're right. You're looking at Ratledge on one side. You're looking at Talik Williams on the other, and both of these guys are going to have the potential to carry a little bit more on their shoulders, especially with the Lions in that interior waiting for Lee McNeil to get back. I am looking at those rookies on those on both sides of the ball and those younger players to see how they step up and keep this train moving down the line, because for all intents and purposes, for a few years, we knew, like without a shadow of a doubt, what's the strongest position group on this team was offensive line. Now you're looking at them having,
now.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And so now when you're talking about how much can you say if a rookie can break out or not? He's going to have to, in my opinion. He's going to have to go out there and put something up for this offensive line to continue to be one of those strengths.
Absolutely. I mean, one of them is, I don't know if it's Miles Frazier. I don't know if it's Christian Mahogany from a year ago who got, a couple of snaps here and there. I don't know if it's Tate Ratledge. I do think perhaps one of the most important players going into camp might be Graham Glasgow, just because I don't want 3 brand new guys on the interior of my offensive line. That'll scare the living daylights out of me. You know what I mean?
That's a good point. That is a really good point, man. When you talk about what's been the strengths of this Detroit Lions team, that's somewhere I'm like, I want that to still be it, because what does everybody say? Jared Goff needs to be clean. Jared Goff needs to be upright.
Braylon said it earlier.
Yeah, exactly. And for everything that we've seen him do to be able to take that necessary step forward, we've seen him get better in the pocket. He can get outside. He can throw the ball in the dirt to avoid getting sacked and avoided some of those interceptions throughout the season. And I want us to be able to see them continue that on. Keep this man upright. Keep him with between the ears. Be able to have that IQ be what stands out more than having to think, is somebody hot on my trails?
Yeah, I don't worry about that. But he can't get the ball to Jameson Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. Can't get to any of those guys up front. You bring up Jared Goff, and I'm glad you did, because Braylon and I had this brief discussion before the game. ESPN's Pete Schrager, who used to be on NFL Network, says Jared Goff is the most pivotal player in the NFL. Not for the Lions, not for the division, not for the conference, for the entire NFL. I think it's an easy thing to say because he's a quarterback. Find me a team that's going to have success with a backup quarterback. There's not many out there, all right? In fact, I would argue, find me a really good backup that you would want under center for an extended period of time. There's not many. Do you buy that he's the most pivotal player in the NFL?
I would have to look around the league. I can understand why he maybe would say that. I think his name comes up. I'm thinking about it. I looked at this, though, Shep, and I took a different spin on it. And I think Jared Goff's, this season, the most pivotal, maybe even the most important player in Detroit Lions history.
History?
History.
Of the franchise?
Wow.
History of the franchise. In terms of importance to a season.
Bro, wait. One more time. Can you say that one more time?
I think this particular season, Jared Goff is the most important player to a Detroit Lion team in the history of the franchise.
In other words, they can't win without him.
It's not about that. It's every year. Last year they couldn't win without him. The year before that they couldn't win without him. I'm looking at it differently. This particular season, the Lions, a lot of people believe they're going to win the Super Bowl. You feel confident thinking the Lions have a legit chance to win the Super Bowl, right? It's ripe for the taking. 2 years ago, they won 12 games. They get to the NFC Championship. Last year, they won 15 games. We know what happened against the Washington Commanders in the second round. This year, they will have all those defensive players back that everybody complained about, which is a valid gripe. But what did you lose? You lost your offensive coordinator. You lost your defensive coordinator. You lost your starting center. You lost your starting right guard. You lost all that on the offensive side of the ball. But this is still a team that is that's primed and poised to potentially be in the NFC Championship, will get you to the Super Bowl. Jared Goff's the catalyst of all that. He's the one, as you said, can balance all that. Why are we giving all this credit to Ben Johnson? Fine, Jared. we'll give you more credit. Now that puts more onus on you.
Yeah.
Now that puts more on you. There's no Frank Ragnow, which is going to struggle the first 4 games of the year. That's just football. That has nothing to do with Frank and versus who's filling in. It's how you play the game. It takes a minute to get into that rhythmic cadence. So with a center, he has to balance that. He has to balance Johnny Moe. We don't know what Johnny Moe is going to be. We keep hearing he was a intricate part of 2022, and he understands, and he's going to keep passing the ball. What does that really mean when you get between the hashes? What does that really mean, 17 games plus 3 and then plus a Super Bowl? I think this season they have an opportunity, and it runs through number 16. Jared Goff has already been to a Super Bowl. He understands how that thing works. Yep. For much you want to say about Todd Gurley's the reason why they got there, Todd Gurley did nothing in that Super Bowl and that mission up there. It was C.J. Anderson. It was Brandon Cooks. It was Rob Woods. I think our skill positions are better than those guys. I think they are. Jared Goff this year is the catalyst for the Super Bowl. Because people that believe in Jared Goff, they think he can get it done, or people that don't think the Lions can get it done, and who is it because of? Because they have Jared Goff. That makes him the most important player in my history.
Nice.
It's never been, in terms of importance, Barry Sanders was never charged with being the guy that's going to win a Super Bowl because he's not the quarterback. Calvin Johnson's not the guy that was in charge of them winning. Ndamukong Suh, name all those great independent players. They were never. Jared Goff, on the other hand, is a situation where, it's on Jared. Yeah. I think if they win, he's going to get the credit, which makes him the most important player in Lions history going into a season.
You know, you've convinced me of it. I think it's a great argument. I think you did a really nice job with it. I would say they could win. I think they proved that without David Montgomery. Probably could win without Jahmyr Gibbs for a short period of time. I think just about any team would have a struggle in playing without their number one quarterback. Yeah. But I'll agree with you. All right, I think you convinced me. What I disagree with Pete Schrager on is that I would say Justin Herbert is the most pivotal player. And I say that because it's a team that has been disappointing for him. You're not winning playoff games. You're not challenging the Chiefs like many thought they would. If I had to pick one pivotal player, and it's ironic that I go right to the quarterbacks, but I think
the conversation.
I think I do that because of what you just said. I'm sure they're saying if they actually talk about football in Los Angeles, which they don't, I think that's what they would be saying, is that Justin Herbert is that guy. Let's face it, he's playing in the shadow of a guy who just won a Super Bowl not too long ago, playing in the same stadium as that guy, and supposedly playing for a coach who is one of the better coaches in all of football. So I would think he's the most pivotal player, but you have convinced me that Jared Goff is the most pivotal player the Lions have ever had because of the expectations and what they have behind him. All right? I'm sorry. When a guy comes in after coaching his team to a state championship and he takes your snaps in the playoff game against Washington when you've been grooming a rookie quarterback or a second-year guy and he can't sniff the field, that's a serious issue.
Shout out to Teddy Bridgewater, who got suspended, by the way.
For
the next game. I don't know what happened. I just saw it. Came across my time feed.
You know what happened is he's providing.
He's a great guy. Right?
Yeah, but he's not getting paid by the school. Just real quick, I know this Kool-Aid right now is going, come on, man, we got to get to a break. He's not being paid by the school. He's a volunteer. So he can contribute what he wants and what the team needs. Now, it's a slippery slope.
Donating donors and all that.
He's donating tents. He's donating money. He's donating.
He's getting recovery.
He's got recovery
massages and stuff like that.
You can pay high school athletes, in which we'll talk to in a couple of seconds. We got a couple of high school athletes here with maximum amount, but you can pay high school athletes now.
It's crazy that the kids on the couch are making more money than I am. Let's go to a Caesars read in Black Rock. I just stunned Braylon.
He didn't know what to say.
No, you're perfectly fine. I was going to simply say Matt Stafford never had that type of pressure because you didn't believe in Matt Stafford because you didn't believe in what the Lions were.
That's right.
This a little bit different.
That's funny, man. So what if I told you could place a bet up to $1,000 and if you lose, you get your money back? Sounds unreal, right? Nope, it's real. And I'm not crazy for saying that, man. Scan the QR code right above me, right? Yeah, scan the QR code right above me. Enter that or enter the code Woodward 1000. And if you place your first bet and it doesn't hit, you'll get your deposit back up to $1,000. That's right, up to $1,000 back just for giving it a shot, man. So why not? Minimum bet is at least $20. Maximum bet $1,000. You can win it right back, man. Download the Caesar Sports app today, the official sports book of Woodward Sports. Use that code Woodward1000 or just scan that QR code on the screen and you can get that $1,000 back if it doesn't hit.
Hey, you know what my pastor always told me? Patience is important. So Kool-Aid, you gotta take your time. You gotta be patient over there. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm messing with you guys. Black Rock Summer Giveaway, man, it starts now. They're dropping prizes every week for the next 8 weeks. And today, well, we talked about yesterday, it's the big reveal. And that is, first up, 4 tickets. Tigers game August 4th, the #1 team in the MLB featuring 4, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4 All-Stars. You want to be a part of this team. My bad, it's 6. It went up 2. You're absolutely right. Forgot about that. Sorry, Shep. That's why I couldn't do the show without you, brother. And the grand prize, 4 tickets to the Big Ten home football opener, September 14th. All you got to do is scan the QR code above my head. Black Rock wants to get you into the game. They got Tigers tickets. They got Big Ten tickets. And Detroit M's tickets are not too far behind. Tune in every Monday to see if you win.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports. Woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at woodwardsports.com.
Baseball team, a travel track team, or any type of travel team, I would need a very big car. The 2025 Hummer EV SUT lease would be a really good place to start at Les Stanford Buick and GMC. Don't you think? They got great offers for everybody. In fact, you can get one of those for $599 a month plus tax. Or you can try out the 2025 Hummer EV SUV lease special at $899 a month, or $699, excuse me. And don't forget the 2025 Sierra Double Cab Elevation lease special for only $169 a month. I was just looking at trucks today. You know, you can drive by Les Stanford. They got so much from which to choose. They got the different colors. I love them because everybody's getting SUVs. And let's face it, I was talking with Braylon yesterday about his truck. And I'm like, I've got to look into that again because I'm ready to get out of the car that I have right now. Get to Les Stanford today. They're going to check out a massive inventory. They've got something for you. The color, the interior, and the price. Les Stanford Buick and GMC. For all these specials, go to lesstanford.com.
See you in that Hummer, man. That Hummer EV. Put a little money out there.
You know what? I can't. I would love it.
Yeah.
I can't pull it off.
Why not?
I just.
Yeah, you could.
Why you can't pull it off?
I don't think so. You know what? If you give me the AT4 that he's got,
yeah.
You know, the GMC AT4,
okay,
I could pull that off. I really like that car. If you give me the Yukon AT4, which is what I want, I think I could pull that off too. You're the only one not bowing up. Maybe you should take the sweatshirt off so everybody can see the pipes.
Flex on
there
them.
we go. There we go. This is this is the
100 degrees outside.
You know what I'm saying? It's all good. Hey, get comfortable, man. This is home for you, gentlemen.
So this is the Maximum Track Club.
Maximum output.
Right? How do you guys train for something like this? I would love to know your training routine. Can you give me kind of a synopsis of when you start in the morning and when you're done at night and what you're doing in between?
So we all kind of different because we from all across. They from Saginaw. He from Kalamazoo.
Okay.
So,
introduce your squad. Start there. Introduce the squad.
I'm Jalen Martin. I run the 2 and the 400.
I'm Nick Coleman. I run the 2 and the 400.
I'm Boston Strangboer. I run the 2 and the 4.
I'm Jeremy Dixon. I run the 1 and the 2.
Okay. Yeah, you didn't want that man's race. Excuse me. I don't want that to come off any type of way because Alan Felix is a hell of a forerunner. So is Cindy McLaughlin. You didn't want to do that race. That 400. I ain't mad at you. He
can run it, though.
My dad set me up first time I ran the 400. He said, just run it like the 200. I'm 10 years old, down in King High School, ran it like the 200. By the time the 300 came, I was gassed out.
Oh, I bet.
Boy, that monkey jumped on my back. I limped to the finish line.
Well, all these guys have their specialty. That's great. You know, they know what they're comfortable with. Tell me through your routine just a little bit. In general, what does a track athlete do to get himself in the best shape?
Okay, so we'll wake up. You got to eat a lot because, we running, everything. You don't want to cramp. You got to make sure you eat the right food.
Yeah.
So we wake up, eat breakfast. We'll probably head down to the track around like 2 sometimes, and then sometimes we go to the hill. We would stand, or we in the garage, and then we just drink a lot of water. Coach Stan make sure we have everything we need. He always asks what we need. So, like I said, for all of it, it's kind of different. So for me, I'll wake up, eat, and then I'll probably go do some stretching. Then I go to PT, and then I'll go with Stan to his garage, or then I'll just go.
And what's in the garage? The weightlifting?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weightlifting,
Yeah.
some sleds, right?
field.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And when you say the hill, you're running the Walter Payton Hill-like situation?
Basically.
You don't know who Walter Payton is. Sorry.
But yes,
like that,
but
though.
100%. No, Shep, like that hill that hill as well as the garage, the experience in Northfield, it's the dungeon.
Yeah.
It is the
That'll
dungeon.
make a Billy go puke, won't it?
100%. We got some picks from when I ran. We'll bring those in, but the Junior Olympics are our opponents, man, Sheppard, and that's why they're here. They run 4x4 right now. I think they have the second fastest time in the nation at 3:11. Jalen didn't get a chance to run on that team, so he believes with him they'll run 3:09. So we'll figure that out. But they have an opportunity to be great. Maximum Output started in 1995 by my father. He wanted to get the sprinters tape on being a coach. You know what I'm saying? No distance running. He wanted to be a sprinters coach, and that's what he was. And from there, he's just coached tons and tons and tons of kids. He has over 300 kids that have gone, gotten scholarships, received scholarship for athletic as well as academics. But
I never knew that. I never knew that about your dad.
Dad's very selfless, man. And the kids, they put in the work. They put in the time. 4 men, the 4 young men in front of you right now, they drive down from Saginaw. They're coming from other places to put it on the track, to put it all on the line. So,
That's awesome.
My dad started GoFundMe because these Junior Olympics and these trips, they are not cheap. So the GoFundMe will be in the comment section if you want to help. I already put my first 1,000 in, so help us if you want to. If not, that's cool too.
And the link is pinned there. So if you guys want to support Maximum Output Track Club, it is pinned in the chat right now.
Thank you, Kool-Aid.
We gotta get some time. Put those pictures up. I gotta show these guys. They think they faster than me because I'm 42 now. But you know what I'm saying. This is Maximum Output back in the day. I actually was already at Michigan when I ran in this track meet. I went out there and I did all right. Yeah, I did too bad in that meet.
What do you think of the form, fellas? What's the form
Form's
like?
trash. Form's trash.
He says too straight up right away.
Form's trash. I will say this: at this time, I already had 1,000 yards in college, though.
Okay.
So I was more so worried. I was more so worried about that aspect. What are your fastest times? Pass the mic around. Talk about your specialties and your time.
Yeah.
My fastest time in the 200 is 20.94.
Whoa, 20 point what?
94.
All right, you'd have beat me. You'd beat me in high school.
So can you put that in perspective for people who don't know track? How fast is that comparatively to, somebody else in the nation, for example? Where is that ranking?
As of right now, I know it's top 75 in the nation for sure.
That's
I want to say top 50. Top 60 for sure, though.
That's impressive.
Wow.
Are you better out of the gate, or are you better at the finish line?
Better at the finish line.
Better at the finish line. So
Most
you get
definitely.
stronger as you go. Okay.
Yeah.
What's your 100 then?
10.4.
Yeah. So as soon as you said strong, I'm like, yeah, what's your 100? I figured it's gonna be 10.4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. That's good.
Couldn't beat you in that either. I was 10.6.
Okay. That's still fast.
Appreciate it.
I'm lucky if I get there in a car. Okay, go ahead. How about you?
I'm 16. My 200 time is 21.8. We actually just ran in Kentucky this weekend.
Okay.
We just PR'd in that.
21.8.
And then 400, 48.9. That's a little calm. I didn't really
21.8.
start taking track seriously till this year, so hopefully that goes down.
What were you doing before?
I was focused on football, and then
Football?
I tore my LCL,
Oh.
so kind of had to get off.
Lateral
that for a minute.
collider ligament.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, I broke 22 in the 200, so I ran 21.9, and then
Okay,
my
respect.
400 time is 48.5. So
Oh, you can move
that's
too.
that's my specialty. More of my finish, because my start is not the best, but like my finish, my top end speed is gonna carry me every time. So
Okay.
I get
So
there.
so you're primary working on your start then.
Yeah,
You've
primarily
gotta
working
get
my
started.
start. When my start getting better, is making my 200 a lot more fluent and easier. So I'm coming for the 200. I'm probably gonna be 20.9, just like him. In the
Hear me out on
I
this
like
one,
that.
Shep.
I like that.
They haven't even run together yet.
Oh, that's wild.
Like, they legitimately have the fact that one of the fastest times in the country. They haven't run fully loaded.
Wow. Why wouldn't that be?
Oh, because he didn't get a chance to run last week.
Oh, because okay.
So
You
he'll
said
be able
earlier,
to chance to
okay.
run on the next one. But like that's what I'm saying. They've run that, and they haven't even necessarily got the practicing, or they haven't necessarily really the chemistry. Like I'm excited for the opportunity.
How important is that? Is that sort of like a quarterback and wide receiver getting on the same page? Because many people think it's just, okay, you're running as fast as you can, handing the baton to the next guy. It shouldn't be that difficult.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a strategy for us, especially with Coach Stan, the way he got us running. He literally sent a whole paragraph how he want us to run the race. So, yeah, it's just that. Then me just missing out because like I came up on an injury, so me just missing out. We definitely could have won like 309.
Before we let you go, I want to know what you've learned outside of track from the camp that Stan Edwards runs there in Northfield, because I know the kind of man he is. It's not always about the sport. It's about something a little bit deeper than that a lot of times. He's molding you into more than student athletes. He's molding you into young men.
Yeah, miss me with that.
Look at him. Look at him.
That's not even cool, bro. 12 years old. You laugh. You see the medal around the neck though. This was the AAU Junior Olympics in '95. I got third in the 200. I went 25-41. Okay. That was
You remember that, huh?
Hell yeah.
25-41.
That's like that was my highest medal at a Junior Olympics in terms of an individual.
Probably remembers his first girlfriend's phone number. All right, tell me, such a good memory. So tell me about what he's taught you besides the world of track and field.
Coach Stan taught me patience because I'm not patient at all. I'm ready to get going. he taught me some patience. So like,
it's good.
He taught you patience?
Yeah, he taught me how to stay patient, man.
I don't know about that one.
All right, so how about you? What did he teach you?
Real dedication. Like, coming here from Saginaw every time, he just told me if I'm going to do something, be dedicated to it and do it at my fullest. So that's just how I'm going to live my life, and anything I do, I'm going to do it to the fullest of my ability.
That's
awesome. Believe you.
Okay, that's good.
And I agree. Coming from Saginaw, it's a lot. Coming to Coach Stan, we working a lot harder. Like, everything different. We got to eat better. We got to wake up. We got to have our sleep schedule right.
You have to wear 2 pairs of sweats?
Yes.
So the work ethic and the dedication, I like that. You guys are probably carpooling together, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, good. No speeding tickets. Last one. Here we go.
I say he taught me consistency. You know, with coming back from states and, you know, nationals is 2 months after that. So it's like you was in peak. Now you got to go back into the hard training phase, and you just have to trust it, knowing that you won't PR during that time frame because you're trying to PR when it matters most.
Right.
So I just say consistency. That's just all he preaches to me.
PR is personal record, not promotions. Last thing, you're all Lions fans, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
I'm gonna give you one question before we let you go, and just give me the number. That's all I'm asking for. Dan Campbell, where would you rank him in NFL coaching?
9.
9?
9.
You're gonna go 8?
Yeah. No, I'm gonna go 7.
7? Okay.
Based on the season they just had, I'm going to go 5.
5?
Okay.
Man, I'm going 1. I don't care what they saying, dog. They tripping, dog. He got. I'm gonna just say this.
Kool-Aid approved.
He bringing the Lions back. We gonna get a bowl. I'm just say that. They talk. No, we going 1. And I am being a little biased because I'm a Lions fan.
Yeah.
Dan Campbell was the best coach in the NFL.
Okay.
So
That's good. I like it.
I like that.
Guys, good luck to you, man. Thanks. Appreciate it, man. It's great to
100%,
see you,
man.
and
Represent.
congratulations. What an incredible accomplishment. I would disagree with that. I don't think he's won. That's okay. I think Andy Reid, by far and away, is the best coach in the NFL. I don't think it's close. I don't think anybody's close, to be honest with you. I think Andy Reid has proven it, not just because he's been doing it for an extended period of time in Kansas City. It's because of what he did in Philadelphia as well. It's the positions that he puts players in to make them better. But I respect the opinions. Mine is a little different. A recent survey of coaches, executives, and scouts had Dan Campbell 5th.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we have the total list?
Where do you think he ranks?
See, I want to see the list and see like what they have,
Okay.
Or you okay?
I'll give you the list. You ready?
You just want me to pick mine?
I would like to know
before I see the list.
Before you see the
Hold on.
list.
Save that.
Okay.
Let's take a quick one, and then we get right back, and you give the people that list for real.
Okay.
Hey, so let me hear from Socials, Ricky Barnes in the sound booth.
Yes, and then when we come back, I got a story about the Dan Campbell thing. We'll get to that.
Okay.
Make sure you stay connected to Woodward Sports and all social platforms, man. Follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, along with YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok for the latest sports news, live updates, and behind-the-scenes action. You don't want to miss out on that, man. Hit the follow button right now. Facebook, X, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube. Be a part of Detroit's #1 digital sports network. That's at Woodward Sports on all of them. At Woodward Sports everywhere. We'll be right back.
Why do we fight?
Good job, guys.
We fight
Thanks.
to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Armani and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! The boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Summer's heating up, and Feldman's clearing space for the incoming new models. That means massive markdowns during Feldman's Hot Summer Sale. Get a 2025 Silverado for just $189 a month, or this 2026 Equinox for just $209 a month. Inventory's moving fast, and when it's gone, it's gone. So don't sweat the search. Just get to Feldman. More locations, more inventory, more ways to save. The Hot Summer Sale is on at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
So, you're a Detroit sports fan, huh? Well then, make sure you subscribe to all the Woodward sports pages on YouTube. We have Woodward Baseball, Woodward Pistons, and of course, Woodward Hockey. Get breakdowns, updates, and bonus coverage of all things Detroit. So pick your favorite sport and follow along with the best Detroit sports coverage ever made. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com. Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something. Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Armani and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
We're ready to wrap things up here on a Tuesday. It's been a lot of fun. Just met some really good athletes. I think we've had some really good conversation.
They were all faster than me.
That's all he cares about. He's so stuck on that.
I hate to tell you this. They're a lot faster than me too. So
I was waiting.
Suck it up and swallow it. That's the way it goes, man. Okay. Oh well. That's the way it happens.
Not used to it. Pause.
But yeah, it's all good, man. So
all right,
my pride's not hurt.
Plus they're not playing in the NFL. You did, all right. So they're not going to be third overall. They're not going to be one of those wide receivers in Big Ten history. They want to have a little bit of shine. I'm going to give them the shine for today.
That's fair.
Right?
Let me sit back and shut up. Let me sit back. Go maximize, man. It's for the next generation.
All right, so we went to break with the coaches. All right, I'm going to give you the coaches. All right, and then you can tell me where they might be up. This is I apologize. It's a CBS Sports poll.
Can I answer your original question?
Sure.
Top 10. That's my answer. Top 10.
You're not going to put him in a specific spot. You're just saying he's top 10.
I'm saying he's top 10. Once you go through the list, I'll explain.
Okay. Do you want it in ascending order or descending order?
Go descending order.
Okay. Number one. Who do you think is number one?
Andy Reid.
Of course. He should be.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people might be surprised at number 2. It's Sean McVay.
I am sure.
Okay. Number 3 is John Harbaugh. It's 18 years in Baltimore. Now, the big question oftentimes arises, why can't they get over the proverbial hump lately, even though he's got the best player in the game? Is that coaching? Is that the player? Is it a combination? You would have a better answer than I would. Number 4 is Nick Sirianni.
That's what I thought they would have at number 2 or 3, honestly.
And number 5 is Dan Campbell. Okay? Now I'll give you those who are behind him. Jim Harbaugh at 6. Kyle Shanahan at 7.
Yep.
Little surprised that he's at 7. Matt LaFleur of the Packers, who Kool-Aid loves, is at 8.
Yeah.
Kevin O'Connell, the coach of the year, is at 9. And Mike Tomlin, this will be the last year, he's at top 10 if they don't win a playoff game, because he's gone 8 straight years of being very disappointing.
First thing I think about, if you can put Jaden Daniels in the conversation as number 5 at quarterback, then you can put Dan Quinn in the conversation as number 8 or 9.
Thank you.
Realistically, I love Mike Tomlin, but we understand what it's been. It's been the fight to get to 500, the fight to get to the playoffs, to get blown out by 80. Right. So if you can put Jaden Daniels at 5, then you can put Dan Quinn at number 10. But getting to this list, the reason why I say Dan Campbell is a number, he's a top 10 quarterback. Coach. I don't care. I don't feel like playing this semantics game because realistically, like, Nick Sirianni should be no lower than 3 for what he's done the last couple of years in terms of how he rebuilt himself with Kellen Moore after the year after the Super Bowl. You know who number 2 is? Sean McVay might have the best team in the NFC this year right now. And we'll get into that later. Sean McVay may have the best team. He's already won a Super Bowl. He's been to Super Bowl. Those you don't have to argue about. And the ones behind Jim Harbaugh, sure, he's gotten back to the playoffs, year 1 in the NFL. He made it every year he was with the San Francisco 49ers except the last one. I get all that. It doesn't matter. Like, can Dan Campbell get to the Super Bowl this year? You want to take a next step? You want Dan Campbell to be better? Can he get to the Super Bowl? Because right now, you can give me the conversation. He built the Detroit Lions out of the ashes, which he did. He got the Detroit Lions in year 3 to the NFC Championship, which he said he was going to do. He said it's going to take 3 years. Year 3, they make the NFC Championship game. Fair enough. Last year, 15-2, and he had a ton of injuries. And we're giving him credit for the injuries. Fair. I think he dropped the ball on who should have started running back in that game, and I believe he trounced the NFC Championship game.
Same.
But he is a top 10 coach. He has gotten better year by year. If you're not 1, 2, or 3, these numbers really don't matter. I think he's a top 10 coach, but I think this is the year where he can get to 3. I think if they get to the Super Bowl, he can get to 3.
He's better than anybody thought he would be.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I don't mean because of the sayings and the cute little flippant remarks once in a while and the tough guy. First of all, I think he doesn't get nearly enough credit for how smart of a football guy he is. I don't know if that's planned on his part and his PR team. I doubt it, but I think there's too many people who look at him strictly as a lunch bucket, blue-collar, grit type of guy and don't look at how just in football intelligent he is.
1,000% I agree with you.
I think it was because of the quotes in the beginning. They kind of made him a caricature of a coach, and then all of a sudden he started winning.
100%. And we can't get rid of it.
Yeah,
we can't. Right. I mean, I want you to think about it for a second. Duncan Robinson said something yesterday in a Detroit News article where he talked about the grit of the city.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody associates grit with the Lions. The Tigers are playing gritty.
Yeah.
The Pistons this year played gritty. We're looking for the Red Wings to play with more, we'll use the hockey term, sandpaper, but they're talking about grit.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't know if it's the city. I don't know if it's the team. It's a combination of both, but that's the label that everybody gives this team, and it's because of what he said early on, and we don't want to let it go. Not that we should. I'm just saying we don't want to let it go.
The intelligence side came from, you brought up Joy Harrington earlier. Let's bring him back to the end of this conversation. Joy, when I was out there, I was asking about the Detroit Lions. I asked him about does he cheer, and he told me that when they lost to the 49ers, his youngest son was talking about, Dad, didn't you play for the Lions? And he says, yeah, I did. He said, all right, well, I want to cheer for the Lions. So he cheered for the Lions the whole game. And that moment is when Joy got over the Detroit Lions situation. He started cheering for the Lions. He likes the Lions. Say that to say this. I asked him about Dan Campbell. The first thing that he said, and this is coming from a quarterback, this is coming from someone I now have a great relationship with, he talked about the intelligence of Dan Campbell. This came from a quarterback. I never even looked at it in that sense. And this was how many weeks ago?
Right.
So when you said intelligence, it takes me back to what Joey said. He said, I love the intelligence. He said, everybody thinks he's a big dumb brute, but I'm watching how the system plays from all the angles. He said he's a lot smarter than people think. That came from a quarterback who was known as cerebral.
How much does it matter when a guy coaches as a player? When he was a player, because he played in the NFL for a long time, had some success for sure. How much does that matter, do you think?
It doesn't matter until it does.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is it doesn't matter until you're Mike Vrabel and, you're in a semifinal round of the playoffs and you're trying to get your team to the AFC Championship and you can now lean on conversations that Belichick has. Or if you're DeMeco Ryans and you're year one coming out of 49ers and now you can go talk to Will Anderson Jr. You can tell him what you think about. As a former Texan, mind you, that's when it takes a life of its own. When Dan Campbell was having a conversation with insert one of the 8 tight ends that they like to use on the year, not named Sam Laporta, when he's having a conversation with a tight end, he's talking to Brock Wright or Zylstra, and he's like, hey, man, this is coming from a place of experience.
Yeah.
This is coming from a place of knowledge. So, if you've never played, you don't have to play. But when you're in those moments and it adds that element.
Think about it. Some of the greatest coaches of all time never played.
Yeah.
Okay? The greatest coaches in Detroit history, they never played.
Yeah.
Scotty Bowman is one of the greatest coaches, whatever sport, who has ever coached players. Okay?
That's interesting.
Think about it. Sparky Anderson didn't play. Chuck Daly didn't play. I'm talking about at the highest level. Okay? Phil Jackson played.
Yeah.
Pat Riley played. Guys like that, right?
Yes.
We understand that. I'm talking about the best in Detroit sports history. Dan Campbell's that guy who did play, right? You speak of Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel was actually ranked 16th on this list. The surprise for me on the list was Sean Payton at 11, because I think people view Sean Payton as this Wizard of Oz in no matter where he goes. He did a really good job in Denver last year.
It goes back to that popularity element that you and I talked about. When they like you, they make you higher. If they liked Sean Payton, for whatever reason, people don't like Sean Payton. I didn't like the thing I saw with him and Russell Wilson, but that's just a small thing to pick on. When they don't like you, they rank you lower.
Right.
Because what Sean Payton has done for the Broncos in 2 years, outside of getting blown out the one game by the Dolphins, it's what we viewed him as when Drew was on his last season and blew his shoulder out. he was one of those guys.
Yeah.
The fact that he's 11 after making the playoffs last year, and he's going to do a lot of things this year. People just don't like Sean Payton. They don't like his coaching style.
And what he did with Bo Nix, I think, surprised so many people. The last thing I'd note before we get out of here, Kevin Stefanski's twice been named Coach of the Year, and he's at 13.
Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland. Biggest problem. Great stuff as always.
Appreciate
Our thanks to everybody associated with it. Ricky and Justin and, of course, Kool-Aid. Kenneth Green, Ryan Lentz, Sam Stick Dave, Brady Wood, Easy, Chad Johnson, Jesse Dillon, Tim McCullum. Thanks for everybody's help. We're back with you tomorrow. And thanks for the chats, by the way. Always appreciate that. Keep them coming on our social media channels. See you tomorrow at 2.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.